your rights. Know your rights. Why do you wake up thinking there's no justice? No one to turn to, lonely roads, mountains of complaints. It's a fight to survive. You got to know your rights. Woo. Yes, you got to know your
Welcome to Inside the OUR, a 5-minute program that examines the issues before the Office of Utilities Regulation and brings you face to face with the people handling those issues. I am your host, David Geddes.
Yes, you got to know your rights. Hey! Daily living is a struggle, high bills, equipment damage. Sometimes you wonder if you have the right.
We're at the Salvation Army on West Baptist Avenue in Port Antonio, Portland. We are presenting today excerpts from the presentation to the members of the Salvation Army here in Port Antonio, Portland.
Hurricane charges. I'm saying, what about the person who didn't have, weren't receiving services from JPS when the hurricane blew, and after that they received services from them, and they are still being charged for what they were not using at that time because they didn't have any services from them hurricane season that they are charged for. And you can't dispute with them that you weren't getting services that you should be charged for it. No.
Sir, that's an excellent question, and we have come upon that question several times, and it is usually a very difficult question to answer, but I am going to make a valiant attempt at answering it. If JPS had implemented the award that we gave them at the time that it was awarded, there would have been less controversy surrounding who was a customer, who was not a customer. You would still have had new customers because every day you have new customers coming on the system. What you have to look at, you see, is that even though you are not a customer, you might never have been a customer, you might have just become a customer 2 months ago with JPS. You weren't a customer in 2004, you weren't a customer in 2005, 2006, whenever. But the fact is that JPS could not have restored the service and given you service without engaging in this recovery process. So you are benefiting from the fact that JPS has undertaken some work to restore the service to what it was before. So the rate that we work out is for the customer base over any 2-year period that the rate is implemented. It does not matter. It does not matter whether you're a customer then, you're a customer now. You're no longer a customer, well then you get away with it because you're obviously not on the system. But it's for the customer base. Again, if the poles were down and the lines were down and there was no investment to put them up back, you wouldn't have power now. So whether you're a customer then or now, doesn't matter. It's a customer's contribution who are on the system.
The bill lower than the estimated bill. Why? The estimated is lower than the reading. True. I don't know the reason why.
Let me tell you, see, that there's a thing called the guaranteed standards again in that book. In it, it tells you how the bill is to be estimated. So, if JPS is going to estimate your bill, how they must estimate it is by looking at the last 3 actual readings, average it out, get a daily consumption, put that to the number of billing days that they are working with, and then apply the fuel and exchange rate to it, and that is the method of estimating. So the estimate can either be too low or too high. It's an estimate. But I'll tell you, I went to a meeting in Portmore, and all the people were saying, well, you know, they have a problem because the estimate is always too low. And they don't like that because when the reading comes now, it compensates for that and they have to pay more. So it varies. In some people's case, it is that the estimate is too low. In some people's case, it's too high. But basically, by and large, it's an estimate. And it's how they are supposed to do it is use the last 3 actual readings. And if you do that, it should more or less reflect your consumption. pattern. And again, once the meter is read and read accurately, it will balance out whatever it is that that estimate gave you.
Come to OUR.
You have been watching Inside the OUR, a program that looks at the issues before the Office of Utilities Regulation.
If you've been to a utility company and are dissatisfied with the outcome of their investigation, file an appeal with OUR. File a complaint from available post office island-wide or call toll-free 1-888-CALL-OUR. Regulation for all consumer, country and company. No hugs, no partiality. Everybody has rights, so you got to know your rights. I was just said that. So you got to know your rights. So you got to know your rights.